Nine had warned him that he would be alone, but Gwyn had not realized what that would mean. After all, he had felt himself to be alone since Bethan went. But there had always been Alan when he needed company on the mountain or in the woods, to share a book or a game, to lend a sympathetic ear to confidences. And for Alan, the need had been great. Gwyn was the one with an empty house and a quiet space to think and play in. And Gwyn was the clever one, the one to help with homework. It was Gwyn who had taught Alan to read. On winter evenings, the two boys were seldom apart. Gwyn had never envisaged a time without Alan's friendship. And perhaps, if he had kept silent, that time would never have come. But it never occurred to Gwyn that Alan would find it impossible to believe him. He felt that he only had to find the right words in order to convince his friend, and on the homeward journey, the same afternoon, he once again brought up the subject of magicians. Yola always raced ahead when they got off the school bus. The older children, however, were not so keen to run uphill. They lingered on the lane, Sean and Gareth arguing, the girls collecting wild flowers and coloured leaves. Alan and Gwyn always brought up the rear. "Have you heard of Math, Lord of Gwynedd?" Gwyn began innocently. "Of course, he's in the old Welsh stories. Dad talks about them," Alan replied. "And Gwydion?" "Yes, and how he made a ship from seaweed." Alan's interest had been aroused. "I'd forgotten. Dad never talks. But Nine reminded me. She got more books than I'd seen anywhere, except in the library." "Your Nine's a bit batty, isn't she?" Alan had always been a little suspicious of Gwyn's grandmother. "No, she's not batty. She knows a lot," Gwyn replied. "She knows about me, about my being a magician." "Now I know she's batty, and you are too," Alan said good-naturedly. Gwyn stopped quite still. His words came slow and quiet, not at all in the way he had intended. "I'm not mad. Things happened last night. I think I made them happen. I wasn't dreaming. I saw my sister, or someone like my sister. Nine said Math and Gwydion were my ancestors, and that I have inherited—" He could not finish, for his friend had begun to laugh. "They're in stories. They're not real people. You can't be descended from a story. You don't know that." Gwyn began to gabble desperately. "I can make the wind come. I saw another planet last night, very close. It was white, and the buildings were white, and there were towers with silver bells, and there were children. And this is the most fantastic place. I could even hear them in a pipe that came from—" "You're mad. You're lying," Alan cried bitterly. "Why are you lying? No one can see planets that close. They're millions and millions and millions of miles away." And he fled from Gwyn, still crying, "Liar, liar, liar."